That, along with a few other things, will 100% be much different if you come to Thailand, and much better. And personally, that's one of my favorite things about life in Thailand. You haven't, have you? That's because we're all living in a simulation. Anyways. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the $7 million Tempus TV studio. First things first, let's get it out of the way. I know right now I might look like I would ask you for change on the subway, but first thing today, I dropped my electric razor in the toilet. Don't ask, so that's how my day started. I hope yours started better. But in today's video, we're going over some points why I am 98% confident that your daily life and your mental health would improve dramatically if you leave America and come to Thailand. Now, whether that be moving here or maybe just an extended vacation, whatever you want to do, but I can almost guarantee, at least somewhat, things are gonna be a lot more relaxed for you when you get to Thailand because of these reasons. So let's do it. So there is a bunch of obvious ones, kind of the main talking points that a lot of creators especially make about all the things that are great in Thailand. So the things I chose today were mostly things that I didn't really think about or didn't really realize until I spent some actual decent amount of time in Thailand. So first things first, if you are an outdoorsy person, and even if you're not, I'm a firm believer that getting outside is very good for you. And I don't really mean just like walking around the block in from your condo, even though that's good too. I mean like nature stuff. And the thing about Thailand is no matter where you are in Thailand, you are so close to some beautiful nature. Even if you're in Bangkok, you're 1 or 2 hours, you're really close to Kanchanaburi, where there's some crazy national parks. In the north, you've got beautiful mountains, national parks. In the south, you've got beautiful beaches, islands. So it is really easy to get out and about, and I think that's good for your old brain. So one thing that can be a little frustrating because it's so much different than what most of us are used to coming from America, but once you get used to it, I think it's a much better way of life, and it ends up being so much more relaxed, and that is kind of just the speed of life in Thailand. Everything just seems much more relaxed, you know what I mean? Minus maybe if you're in Bangkok, like riding the train in the morning, obviously a bunch of people are going to work, so you can still kind of feel it there, but especially here in places like Jomtien Beach, you can just kind of feel it in the air. Everything is just much more relaxed. It seems like people are much more content with the things that they have, even if that might be a lot less than what some of us would think. And I think not having that kind of constant pressure or not seeing that all the time, or seeing all kinds of people with tons of fancy shit, I think at the end of the day that's gonna help you chill out a lot more, because it for sure has for me. If you have spent some time in Thailand before, you will know, coming from the West, I don't know what it is, I think it just has to do with the climate change, whatever. When you first get here, that first couple weeks, you're more than likely gonna get sick. Nothing crazy, but you're probably gonna get like at least a cold, some headaches, whether that be jet lag, climate, whatever. But after that, the ease of access to not only medication, really good healthcare in Thailand. A lot of people think for some reason that Thailand does not have good healthcare, which is so not true. Some of the cutting edge stuff in the medical industry is being developed in Thailand. But your access to this is, one, gonna improve your life because it makes it a lot easier to be healthy. If you are sick, if you are getting like a cold or the flu or something, you're not dreading going to the doctor because you're not stressed about those crazy copays and everything. God forbid something does happen where you go to the hospital, minus the stress of wanting to feel better, you're not gonna have to deal with that crazy stress of being like, okay, not only am I sick, but I'm about to get hit with a fat bill that's probably gonna take me years to pay off. So just the ease of being able to take care of yourself and having that confidence in knowing that you're doing your best to stay healthy, unless you're kind of leaning into another thing I like about Thailand a lot, which we'll talk about later. In general, it is much easier to take care of yourself and be healthy and save a lot of money doing it while you're in Thailand. Now, realistically, if you're a foreigner in Thailand, there's always gonna be a sense of kind of being an outsider. But if you look at it analytically, it's not really true in my opinion. I think it's really easy to feel like a part of the community pretty much no matter where you are in Thailand. In America, we rarely even know our neighbors' names, let alone talk to them. One thing to think about, have you ever seen your neighbor bringing in groceries? You haven't, have you? That's because we're all living in a simulation. Anyways, especially if you're in Thailand, and me, I kind of noticed that I like to look for buildings that are kind of on a lower end budget. One, because I'm broke, go subscribe, buy a t-shirt, thank you. But also because there ends up being a lot more ties in your building, and you're actually talking to your neighbors, or at least saying hi to you and stuff in passing. So it can be really easy to actually feel like a part of the community. And even if you do feel like you're kind of orbiting it, I think it does feel better to sense the community that's around you. All ties in general have a really good sense of community. Yes, everybody knows that Thailand food is amazing. And unfortunately, the reality is in America, if you want like legit, really good food, it's either grandma's cooking or you're going out to a super bougie restaurant, you're getting hit with a $200 bill, and that sucks. And in Thailand, not only is it that the food is good itself, it's that it's so accessible. One, it's everywhere. You can't walk down a street and pass food, so you can just kind of go and see new things all the time and not be worried about whether you're gonna like it or not, because it only costs $2 anyway, so if you don't like it, no big deal. There's nothing worse than going to a restaurant and trying something new and you hate it, and then you actually spend $50 on it. That is, talk about a kick in the nuts. Not having to worry about spending a bunch of money on food and constantly being exposed to new things. If you are a food person, I think food is one of the best things for your soul, and there is plenty of that to be had if you're in Thailand. In Thailand, as long as you are not directly bothering someone else, Thais could not care less about what you want to do in your free time. You can dress the way you want, you can party when you want, you can do anything as long as you're not directly hindering somebody else's process. I've heard the argument before, oh, well, they're actually judgmental and they're saying it behind your back. People do that in America as well. The only difference is in Thailand is you're not gonna have people shouting shit from cars at you. You're not gonna have some crazy Karen stopping you on the sidewalk worried about what you're doing. That is just not a thing in Thailand. Everywhere in every culture, people are gonna judge. It's just what people do. Difference is in Thailand is it's not gonna be thrown in your face. The only time that's gonna happen is if it's other foreigners. Now, especially if you have somewhat of a Western salary, it might even be dramatically less than you've made in America. Coming to Thailand, of course, the cost of living is like a major attraction point for a lot of people. And no matter what, there's gonna be some stress involved with money. No matter where you get, like more money, more problems, everybody knows that. But even having to worry about that 20% less. One big thing for me especially is like rent. There's been plenty of times in my life where I was worried about paying rent, you know what I mean? Or having to be very tactical and making sure I had that money together. And just not having to worry about that, especially for me, has just improved my mental health like tenfold. And of course it will for you too. Even if there's only one or two things that you can check off that list of priorities that you have to have money for, it's 100% gonna improve your life dramatically. I knew this coming to Thailand, but until you're actually in it, you know what I mean? And like, especially me, I'm good at finding new things to stress about. But if you sit back and really take a look, you know, for the time that I've been here, I've never been short on rent. Or never had to like be tactical about how I pay rent or put the money to the side. That, along with a few other things, will 100% be much different if you come to Thailand, and much better. Now, my favorite thing that Thailand 100% does better than America is there is always an excuse to relax, cut loose, or just go full-blown party degenerate mode. Thais love any excuse to party, whether it be, you know, national holidays or a 3-day weekend or somebody's birthday, or 7-Eleven has a sale on candy bars. There's always something to be found. There's always something to do. There's always events. There's always a bar that's open. So as long as you're within reason and you're not abusing this, you know what I mean? I think everybody needs time to relax and cut loose. However you decide to do that, whether it's partying or just going and hanging out on the beach, whatever, there is always a time and a place to do that. And everybody knows about the, you know, nightlife in Thailand, but this isn't just like in the hot spots. This isn't just in Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket. Of course, there's a little more options when it comes to those places, but anywhere you go in Thailand, I've seen it firsthand, all the way up in Isan, farmers, any excuse to hang out, listen to music, drink a beer, is it's always happening. There's always somewhere you can go. And like we said, the lack of judgment, especially in Thailand, if you decide 10 a.m. is beer 30, go for it. And I can almost guarantee that there will be some Thai people that are ready to drink some Leos with you. Now, before I have anybody who bleeds red, white, and blue in the comments like, oh, well, America's the best in the world, and blah, 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 blah. Of course, every country does certain things worse and better than other places. This includes America. Don't get me wrong. I'm American. I grew up in America. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love America. But we all know that America's got some issues. When it comes to Thailand, at least one of these things that we talked about, I can guarantee will help improve your daily function, mental health. You'll just be able to relax a little bit more and enjoy what you're doing. So if you're thinking about coming to Thailand and you need some excuses, there you go. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'll see you soon. Catch you in the next video.